We're going to talk about 2020 auto trends right now and much more with the amazing Dustin Woods joining us one more time, the associate editor of AutoTrader.ca. Hello, Dustin.
Hello again.
Good to have you back on the program.
Thanks for having me.
AutoTrader.ca. We always open up the segment with a bit of a history lesson. Been around for some time, AutoTrader.
Since the 1970s, definitely. So it used to be you'd go down to your convenience store, your grocery store, and you'd pick up the newsprint AutoTrader, AutoTrader Classics, or AutoTrader boats or motorcycles. Now it's all in one, AutoTrader.ca, for about the last 4 years now. Completely online, and yeah, you're able to find watercraft, cars, motorcycles, all those sorts of things on a tablet, desktop, smartphone. Every
holiday season, I used to pick up the paper copy of the car version for my dad.
Oh, yeah.
It was just a tradition, right? So,
yeah.
2019 was a big year, though. Now, tell us about some of the most searched vehicles during the year.
It was. So, not surprisingly, the Ford F-150 was the #1 most searched vehicle across the country, which it's also the highest selling vehicle across the country. Honda Civic was #2, which is the highest selling car in Canada, has been for the last at least 16 years. So those aren't surprises. What is rather surprising is that the Jeep Wrangler was actually bumped from our top 10 list for the first time since 2014. And the Ram 1500 actually made the list for the first time ever. So Ram has been a standalone brand from Dodge for the last 10 years. They've been investing a ton of money into research and development, and it's been paying off as more people are looking for those vehicles on our website.
I read that it was the year of the truck last year as well.
Definitely, yeah. So inventory has gone up and searches have gone up, with the Ram joining the list. Also, the Maritimes actually superseded the Prairies for being the highest group for looking for trucks. So the Tacoma made the list, the F-150 and the Ram. The Western provinces, actually Alberta and BC, were looking for more SUVs this year. So the CR-V and the Toyota RAV4 going higher up the list than previously.
Okay, so some changes in 2019.
Definitely, yeah.
Those changes are going to obviously happen in 2020 as well. What are some of the trends that you see coming?
So we see more all-wheel drive vehicles. The Toyota Camry is going to be all-wheel drive in 2020. The Volkswagen Atlas SUV is not going to be front-wheel drive anymore. It's going to be only all-wheel drive in North America. So those are new trends that we see happening. We see more plugs. So Volvo, as an example, says that they're going to be, every vehicle of theirs is going to have a plug by 2025. So whether that's a hybrid of some sort or a full plug-in electric vehicle.
Electric vehicles, okay.
Yeah.
So how do those electric vehicles hold up in Canadian weather?
So it does impact the life cycle of the battery and how much of a charge it holds. So that is something definitely to consider of where you live in the country, as well as what your commute will be like, whether you do want a hybrid or a pure electric vehicle. You need to consider, obviously, range and whether you have the capability of having a level 1 or a level 2 charger and all these sorts of things. There's a lot of things to consider. So we do have an editorial area on AutoTrader.ca where we have lots of tips and tricks for people who are looking to buy and sell cars, but also the ownership experience, whether it's gasoline or diesel or electric vehicles.
Do you see Canadians being willing to invest in an electric vehicle?
We see that.
Like you said, there's some different variables you got to put into play.
Definitely, so we see that change really significantly across the country, especially over the last year. In Ontario, it dropped significantly as the rebates went away, and in BC, they skyrocketed. So we saw interest of people looking for pure electric EVs or hybrids go up actually 50%, but sales actually went down in Ontario. They went up in BC. So it had a lot to do with the rebate. So people do want to save the world, and they do want to reduce greenhouse gases, but they also want to save money.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so retro. What about retro vehicles?
Yeah, so that changes all the time. So as an example, the Volkswagen Beetle is no longer. That has less to do with people being interested or not in retro vehicles. That was actually because so many people are interested in the Volkswagen Tiguan that they actually moved production over to build more SUVs. So we also have vehicles like the Land Rover Defender coming out next year and the Ford Bronco coming out. The Chevrolet Blazer came out last year, which is retro in name, but really name only. We also have the Ford Mustang Mach-E, which is a Mustang-inspired four-door electric SUV, which is, it's funny when you say those things, people's brains explode when they're a Mustang fan, because it's not at all what a Mustang has ever been. But they really want to leverage that trademark and that brand cachet of the Mustang and bring people into pure EVs. It's a beautiful looking vehicle. I had a chance to ride in it. it. It's gorgeous and it drives well, but we'll see if that translates into sales.
Do you get to ride a lot of cars before?
We do. Yeah. So yeah, pretty much every week get to drive a new car.
That's pretty cool.
It's one of the perks of the job, but it's work.
Yeah, you know? I can imagine. AutoTrader.ca, of course. How many listings are there? Quite a few.
Anywhere from 400 to 415,000 at any given time. So it typically fluctuates throughout the year. The springtime, March and April being the highest, as similar to the housing market, when the snow starts to go away and the temperature rises, so do people's interests in selling their home or buying a new one. It's a lot easier to look for a vehicle when you don't have to clear snow off it and go in a blizzard.
Totally. 30 seconds left here, and it's free to list your car?
It is indeed. Yep, it's free to list. We have new and used vehicles. So, if you want to see what your own vehicle is like, you can go and look at our intuitive search function and punch in all the parameters of your vehicle and make, model, and trim and kilometers and see, the value of what your vehicle would look like. Selling it privately, selling it used, new and used vehicles. So yeah, feel free to take a look.
Dustin Woods, there you go, autotrader.ca.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate your time. More daytime coming up on Rogers TV.